Hey guys, I'm Erin, and this is my husband Kevin. So it's kind of funny because we were talking about marriage earlier, and one of my girlfriends is having kind of a rough time right now, and we kind of just sent her a couple of Snapchats and a couple of tips on marriage. Now, marriage is not the easiest thing. It is not just a simple carriage ride through a park. It is literally a journey that you have to take with so many obstacles you can't believe are happening and so many things that you didn't even realize that you were going to go through. Like when you're single, you don't worry about it. When you're in a marriage, that's totally different. Totally different.
Yep.
He's got a half on screen, so I apologize.
Too many examples. So we've been married for almost 2 years, right? So when we started dating, I was on second shift. And I thought, you know what? I don't get to spend time with my girlfriend as much as I want. So I was talking with my supervisor, my boss, whatever, at the time. And I was telling him that maybe I will want to go first shift. But then, lo and behold, I ended up going to third shift. Not even going to get into that situation because I can rant forever. But I get on a third shift. And in the beginning, I thought it was great because I get off at 7 in the morning. She goes to work. Then when she gets off, she could come see me if she wanted to. And I'm like, all right, cool. This is actually working out pretty well. And then I go into work at 11. So I get a lot of sleep. And I get to spend time with my girlfriend. So then we got engaged, and everything was still working out fine. Then we got married, and in the beginning it was okay, but then I started realizing that, oh my god, I'm really not spending as much time with her as I want. Because then some days I go in at 7, some days I go in at 9, some days I go in at 11. So it just varies. But then it's like when you talk to other people, they always go, yeah, third shift is for single people, not married people. And you know, I took that and I was like, you know what, you guys are so fucking right. So it's just like it's not that it's hard to work around it, it's just a big nuisance. And something that you have to also do a give and take with. So, like what I was saying to her friend in the video was, marriage is a give and take. You have to do things here and there, and you can't just do it for you. You have to do it for your significant other as well. So, like, I don't want to be living in this apartment at the rest of our lives. I wish we had a house already, but I gotta work for it.
We both do.
Like, she's on summer vacation right now. Do I wish I could spend a lot of time with her while she's on summer vacation? Absolutely. But am I going to? I can't necessarily because I have to work. We gotta pay bills. We gotta pay for things like our dog. We gotta pay for medical expenses, food, rent, you know, stuff like that. But in the end, you have to do what's good for you. And even though we hate it, it's what we have to do. But I mean, then we look forward to other little things. Like, it's not a big major thing, but to us it's a little thing, and it's really nice. Like, we're going on vacation in July to Texas, and I mean, like, that whole week we're just gonna love and enjoy, and we're gonna talk about it for the next month at least.
I think one of the biggest things about, you know, being in a marriage with somebody you love is having the foundation of Christ. I think that's the biggest thing, is if you don't have Christ in your relationship, what is the relationship even really made of? I gave my life to Christ probably when I was about 11 years old. And then a couple of years down the line, I started to kind of stray away from it. And I was just kind of like, whatever, you know, and started not to kind of run from it, but I just kind of was like, no. And then I ended up meeting Kevin. And, you know, Kevin is an awesome person. He's very sweet, very kind-hearted. And he started to ask me more and more kind of what, you know, their journey was like. And then he brought his friend Kenny. What's up, Kenny? And
I actually brought Dalton first.
Yeah, Dalton's little brother. I love little Blue so much. But he started bringing him. We started just kind of showing him what, you know, love was really like with Christ. And that night, we were here at the apartment. He gave his life to Christ and ended up getting baptized with my dad, which my dad is absolutely amazing. He loves Kevin very much. He finally has a son.
And I still have that video too.
Yeah. So it's been an incredible journey of what God has kind of done with us. He's molded us into this marriage of what love is really like from Christ. So it's been really cool. You know, I mean, it's definitely a rough journey, you know, but that's the adventure of it. That's the the joy of it. Like, I wouldn't trade anything like for it because I love him so much, you know.
And I love Aaron so much too. Like, not every relationship is perfect. We still fight, we still argue, we still have our differences of opinions, and
like, I think ranch dressing is amazing.
You're disgusting. But I mean, it's just that you have to roll with the punches, and it's not that you want to avoid a conflict or you want to avoid this from happening or you want to avoid those tough conversations or anything like that. It's something you have to do because it's either you fight all the time or you leave the person. One of the two. And you don't want that to happen. So, I mean, like, my mom gives me plenty of marriage advice because she's been through 2 marriages, technically 3 because she married my dad twice. But she's been giving me advice. Aaron's parents have been giving us advice. Aaron's grandparents have been giving us advice. My grandmother's been giving us advice. And I mean, it's kind of like training somebody, you know? Like at my job right now, I'm actually training 2 people. So one person gets trained one way, and then he has 3 other people show him another way, saying that their way's right. Well, no, it's not. Like, you can take everybody's little pieces of advice and then just make it your own. And that's something that you have to do when it comes to a marriage. You have to give all, and you have to receive little. That's the biggest thing I've learned in the last 3-4 months or so.
About 3-4 months, yeah.
Because everything that I do is for Aaron, Teddy, my family.
Just like him, yeah.
And I try to not focus on me.
Same, yeah.
So,
like, I try, like, you know, not to interrupt you, sorry,
no,
but like, you know, like when he gets home at night or before he goes to work, I try to have a dinner made for him. Like last night we had baked chicken, we had corn, and we had angel food hair pasta. Like, I try to make sure that I have food for him before he goes to work. Sometimes it does not always happen because something or some situation happens, but I always make sure he has food. Like, if he's on a night shift, like, I'll take him food. Like, I still want to make sure he's got food in his stomach, you know. Or if he needs like medicine at work, I'll make sure he has that, like for a headache or something, you know. It's just the small things that you do in a marriage for somebody. So, like, if you guys are having marriage like problems like this, don't think you're alone, because you're not alone. It takes work. Trust me, it takes work. Like, before I married Kevin, I didn't expect to go through these challenges, but when we got together as a couple, we fell in love with each other, and then we just started going from there. No, it's not easy, but you know what? We don't care. I still love Kevin, and I want to be with Kevin, so.
And like I said, you're always going to have fights. No marriage is ever perfect. If you can tell me your marriage is perfect, I'm going to tell you you're a fucking liar.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in the end, and I'm sorry for cussing, it's just normal. But in the end, you have to do what's best for you.
Yeah.
And you have to do what's best for your family. So it's like a scale, okay? This is you, this is your family. You can't do all you and barely any of your family. You can't do all your family and barely any of you. You have to do it simultaneously. Just like me, for example. I am a huge collector of anything that comes to anime or whatnot. Like, especially Pops. Oh my god, I love Pops. So, like, I'll go through and I'll see something I like or whatnot, but if it's expensive, I'm not gonna get it. Like, I might wait later on. But for, like, example, I got a booster box of Naruto cards, like, almost 2 years ago for $70. And at the time, $70 was a lot of money. But now it's worth over $3,000. So I mean, but at the same time too, what was it? We go to GameStop, Hot Topic, FYE, the flea market. We go to a lot of places. And we just look around. And if there's something that catches my eye, but I don't necessarily need it, then I leave it off to the side or put it in the back of my mind that maybe one day I can get that. But if it's something that Eryn really, really wants because she loves it and we're not going to find it really anywhere else, then you know what? I'm just going to give her. I'm not going to worry about myself.
Like one of these like little things I collect as pins. Like little pins like this. But one of the things I was going to tell you guys too is in a marriage, don't let people influence your marriage, please. Okay? If somebody tells you or asks you, why does your wife or your husband like anime? That's okay. It doesn't matter. Like, it's like, to say this in the nicest way, it's not about them. It's about you and your husband. Like, so what if your wife or husband likes anime? There's no issue with that. So don't let people influence your marriage. Don't let people try to get their way into your marriage, because what'll happen is if you let them in,
oh my god,
and they start to mess with your marriage, that's going to cause a major issue.
Because that's what you come home to.
Yeah, because that's what you come home to. I had a couple of friends that I used to be friends with. To be honest, I'm not very acquainted with them anymore because they caused a lot of drama. And a lot of things have changed, you know, from now until then, which is a major blessing. I'm a lot more happier with it. But once they got into our marriage and they started messing around with it, it caused Kevin and I to literally lose our minds. And I hated seeing Kevin so upset. He said, you know, he hated to see me upset. So we finally just gave it to God and we're like, God, we got to get rid of this. So Kevin helped me kind of like move away gently from them, and he moved away from the bad influences. And now he's got good friends. He's got Mike, he's got Kenny, he's got a lot of good people. I've definitely grown a lot of good relationships with people like Cheyenne. I love her. Definitely grown a lot of good relationships, and I'm very blessed with it. So please, please, please do not let people interfere with your marriage, because it's not going to go well. So.
And one other thing I want to just throw out there is the littlest things really matters, because like you don't have to get somebody a $1,000 iPhone or a $2,000 bag or a $80,000 car just to make them happy. You know,
he got me hair scrunchies yesterday and I was so excited. I love hair scrunchies.
So like, for example, something that makes me happy, something I keep in my wallet all the time, especially when I'm upset, is a little note that she wrote. And when I'm upset, I just read it, because again, I work night shift, so she's in bed. But I read it, and it makes me happy. And then I just go through my little pictures or whatnot. Or, like, when I get home, she got me a blanket, and I sleep with that. You know? It's, like, just the littlest tiny things matter. Because, like, I don't expect to come home to a super clean house every day. I don't expect to come home to the laundry being done every single day. I don't expect to come home to there being dinner ready for me every single day. No, I'm not. I don't expect that. There's days where she comes home and she's so tired that she goes right to bed, and I'm not gonna blame her. She has a tough time at work.
Vice versa, he does too. It's one of those things. It's a give and take. So please, 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 do not think you're the only ones that are going through a rough time. Kevin and I, you know, wanted to share, you know, kind of, you know, what we've been through, and hoping that we can help you guys, because honestly, without the guidance of
it's been a long year.
It has. Without the guidance of Pastor John, Pastor James, both moms and both of our dads, both of our little brothers and sisters, you know, we would not be where we are today without them. And we thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts. So we're hoping that we can help you guys. So we love you guys, and we just wanted to kind of share a little bit what we thought. So we love you guys.